Welcome back, and we are live, and I'm pretty sure I'm looking in the right direction this time. Okay, so today we're going to do something I rarely do. We're going to do a commission, and this one is it's a finishing commission, and I have covered the critical part of the commission because I feel like the person who commissioned me should be the first person to see the final result. But we can still discuss how I approach it. It's all still new to me. I haven't done a lot of commissions. I think that the main reason being, time. I just really haven't had time to do commissions outside of my regular schedule, work-wise. So these days, my schedule has lightened up quite a bit, which is a tremendous welcome to me. It's good and bad. Less money, but more time, which is great, which I definitely could use. But I find that I've accepted a couple mainly because I would love to ink characters that I haven't inked before, which are characters outside of DC pretty much, and work over pencilers who I've never worked with before. So that's going to be kind of a new adventure for me. This penciler, although, is someone I have worked with before. It leads to another funny story. I'll tell you later. But so I'm going to start. Like I said, it's a finishing, so which means like the pencil's a little bit loose, and I've already tightened up a lot of the stuff that's covered right here. But I thought it would be kind of a good video to cover what my process is in terms of doing finishes and inks and in this case a commission. And so let's get to it. I had such a wonderful success last time with flipping the camera. We're gonna do it again if you guys are ready. So here we go. And hey, I'm wearing red, which I rarely do, and to do a commission, which I rarely do. So here we go. First, I'll talk a little bit about me doing finishes because I'm not that confident yet with just going right into finishing directly to inks. I do kind of tighten it up with penciling first. So I'll go in and tighten up the details, which I think that could help finish it with pencils and with my pencils, and that way when I ink it, that way I get all the mistakes out in the penciling process, and when I ink it I won't have to do a ton of corrections, which is fine because you just kind of you'll end up doing corrections, but I like to see as little whiteouts or as little correction as possible. So I do like to go in and do the finishing in pencils first before I do the final ink. So I don't do the finishes with inks. I do it with pencils first. That makes sense. That's a whole lot of words to describe something very brief, but there it is. Okay, so this one's a very simple piece, so I will flip the camera now. I will flip the camera now. Here we go again. Okay, so I hope that it ends up in the right place, and I hope the camera stays, because my little like $4.99 phone holder. Okay, last time I think I was a little off. So here we go. Sorry guys. I hope this works. Oops. Yeah, I know. Bear with me. Okay, so I think I need to go this way a little bit more. It would probably be easier to just move the paper. So I need to come down this way. Aha, there we have it. Okay, so here we go. I'll try to be a center. So like I said, I've pretty much finished most of, oh, flash. It's a little Boba Fett Jim Lee. Okay, so I've finished. I've tightened up like the little hands, and the gun. And so now I'm just kind of doing backgrounds. So we kind of made sure things are lined up, but because it's kind of like a messy, destructive, or low destroyed background, I'm going to not make it perfect, not necessarily like line everything up, like rule everything out, but I'm going to just freehand it. And there's already guidelines here, so you can just, you know, check yourself, like pull back and look at it. But I'm just gonna go space it out, but not with perfect, clean, sharp lines, but more of a jaggedy and finish it roughly because I want it to look a little rough, a little industrial. So you kind of have to make sure it's aligned so it's not too crazy, even if it's a little like, you know, damaged area. And it shouldn't have to be perfect. Like there could be little bends if it's like metal. So this is like a door. You can have a little bit of that not perfect sharp line. And this is just in pencil. So when you go in with inks, you can, you know, do it the same way, just a little more rough and freehand. And like I said, I'm really going into like the little detail in pencils. That way when I ink, I'm not trying to work out a lot of the little details. I'm just gonna go in and ink it. And I think that when you're inking and penciling, you're thinking about different things. So still trying to stay on the page. So I'm getting like the little pencil details out, and because like I said, I'm not that confident, you know, quite yet. So I'm not ready to just jump in with inks. So I'm just giving a little bit of edge right there, and maybe I, you know, give myself the little thick lines already, so I know when I ink it, it'll be like the little shadow or whatever, little edge, little lip. Maybe I'll go back and do that on the top line too, so these could be like little panels. Top of the panel, bottom of the panel. And this is, like I said, it's more for me because I'm not that confident yet. And okay, so it's giving a little details, and that's the cape that comes out. Keep that flow, keep that flow. This is just a little, am I here? Okay, little knob. It was just kind of like a little gestured circle. So you can definitely make it into There are a couple of spots that like made into bullet holes, but these can be buttons or knobs. Where am I? Here I am. Okay. So you can make it a little shadow underneath. Okay. So I think for this, because like I said, I tried to go off like what the pencilers normally do naturally, and Jim does a lot of like little smoke effect things. So I think I'm going to come in with inks, but I do kind of like rough it out, like where I think the little smoke could, you know, go. And that gives me like just a visual guide, because obviously the smoke I'm more comfortable in with inks. So going in with inks, and I mean, there's really no need to kind of do much in pencils, because you just kind of give it an outline. That's all that you really need. So yeah, that's my process for doing commissions and having to do finishes. I will go in and tighten it up with pencils first before this stuff is going to fade. So I do a little fade line because it's going to be behind the smoke. So I do tighten up the pencils first before I go in with the final ink. So that way when I go in and ink it, I can, you know, I'll know what everything already is and how I want it. And it gives me a lot more of a solid foundation to work with. In terms of, I can add little cracks too. So, doop, doop, doop. Maybe there's a little nick and tick. So anyway, this just adds to the environment, that it helps to establish the environment. And obviously there's gunfire and stuff, cool stuff like that. So here's my funny Jim Lee story. So yeah, I'll just keep on making little silly little ticks and stuff as we talk. So I'm still not like that comfortable inking. Jim, I'll do it, but it's, you know, it's still not like, it's still a challenge for me. Not that I've inked too much recently, but it always took me so long. Like whenever they you know, fall behind on schedule and they need some help with inks, and was it Superman? That was the first time I helped. I don't remember. It's all blur. But so it would take me forever to, I guess I can flip the phone back, to ink Jim because of the peer intimidation. Here we go. We're doing a double flip and I'm back. So I would take forever before I even touch the page, and considering the fact that the deadline's already like red hot, 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 and Jim is, you know, usually at the end of the project is like penciling, you know, 5 pages a day. So obviously Scott can't ink them all, and he usually dishes them out to a couple of the backup inkers, which I think fortunate to be one of. So since the deadline's already like right there upon it, it's right there. So I would take freaking forever before I even touch the page, because I'm just sitting there staring at it. Okay, and it's usually a little loose, especially, you know, like I said, deadline's already there. So I'll get the page and it would take forever, and the editor's like, hey, Sandra, how's it going? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm working on it. Truth is I haven't even touched the page yet, so time is ticking and I'm staring at it, and I'm just like, oh God, I just gotta get started on this page. It's never gonna it's not gonna finish itself. It just needs to be done. They just need it done. They just need it inked. So the I think the moment that, I guess a pivotal moment, was just I just got so frustrated, and it just came down to just, here's my phrase. Every time I pick up Jim Page, this is what I have to say now. It's just, this is a family edition, so I'm gonna say in a family friendly. I'm just like, F Jim Lee. Who the F is Jim Lee? Who freaking cares? And along with that, F. Scott Williams, just get the stuff done. So whenever I get the page, I have to remind myself that it just, you have to say that sometimes, just because it kind of frees you to just go in and do what you can. And at that point, I think a lot of times, especially when they just need the pages inked, I can't sit there and think about what would Jim do, what would Scott do, how should this be done. I just need to go in and do what I would normally do. And that's what you kind of have to do, clear your mind with whoever or whatever that's kind of intimidating you, is taking up your headspace so you can't even move. I think we all have that in whatever it is that we do, whether it's to, being like just shy or socially awkward, or being intimidated by whether it's people's status or how someone looks, or how, I don't know, like if you go to the gym, like all these fit people are there and you're just like, just trying to get yourself together and, get back in shape or whatever. There's like everything in life that would intimidate you. And sometimes you just kind of have to remember these are just people who may be in like a little bit farther along in the journey than you are, but you have to get started. And sometimes, and the clock is always ticking. So you can't worry too much about how someone else would do something, what, comparing yourself to like, oh, mine looks like this and theirs looks like that, or even like, even if it's your appearance or your any ambition that you might have. Be motivated or inspired by people, but at some point you really have to just say F up. You just have to go for it and do your best, do what you can. There goes my office manager. She's reminding me it's dinner time. Okay, so with that said, I will follow up some more with this commission and the reveal when I'm done, and once I get it shipped to the owner. So guys, I hope whatever it is that you're trying to do or you're doing with your life, just don't worry about where someone else is and how great or or how much of a rookie you are, or whatever that idea or that big obstacle is that's in your head that's stopping you from moving forward. You just have to say F it and just go for it. You're only here for a short amount of time, and you don't realize how fast time will just fly. So just go in, give your best, and let it be for that time, and just know that you continue to work towards getting a little bit better and finding your own way, finding your own voice. It might look absolutely nothing like someone else, and it shouldn't, because it's your own thing. So don't be scared, and just, you're going to be scared, I know, because as I was, as I still am. But just go for it. Just let it be what it is, and you just do your best for that time, given the situation that you're in, and don't overthink it. Otherwise, you'll never move. Okay, so thank you for joining me for another session, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following. And I'm going to feed my dog now because she is ready to tear down that door. All right, thanks, guys. See ya.